through his interest in marine management and policy. And his research of the Humber area has also included studies of sediment. So Mike is with us this evening, and I'm pleased about that. And we have those sitting quietly and trying to hide in the corner. We have another professor, former Mike Cowling, who currently works for the Crown Estate. Probably didn't want to be identified, but he's here too and is an expert.
Quite happy to be identified. Firstly, I'd like to thank Graham for providing us with the venue and the opportunity to speak to you all today. And I think on behalf of my industry colleagues, I'd like to also thank all of you for taking the time and the trouble to come and speak to us and look at the information we brought with us during the day, and also to come out on a Friday night as well and participate in the discussion.
There's another picture sort of close up and it just shows how big some of the stones are. And it's this kind of material that we're actually dredging on the seabed. It's no different to that in terms of its origin. That's what it is. In essence, the deposits that we're dredging are effectively fossil deposits. They're ancient deposits. They're not moving around anymore. They're trapped within these river valleys and these big spreads of sediment. They're not actually connected to the present-day coastline. If we look at this slide, it's going sort of 7,000 years ago.
The early 1980s, we've done a lot of work on this coast, and many of you have seen it. In fact, some of the maps that were shown in the reports that we did. My institute is full of marine scientists who have worked for industries such as agriculture extractors. We've worked for government. We've worked for statutory bodies like fishing organisations and major conservation bodies. And also we've worked for local groups. And a few weeks ago when Graham came to the university, we were talking about some of these things. I mentioned that not only have we tried to take a very objective view to what marine processes are like and how they're affected by human activity, but also we want to work with society to do that. And I mentioned that one of the pieces of work we did a while ago is we worked with Filing Against Dredging, a local community group who were worried in exactly the same way as many of you are about dredging near the coast there. They were worried because they remembered in the 1960s when sand was removed from their beach and their sea defences got undermined. So they asked us to work with them to help them to gather evidence, really to look at the situation. So we work with local groups. We also work with many industries. We're doing a lot of work now looking at the environmental effects, for example, of offshore energy, wind farms, and so on.
Consultation with local fishermen who beach fish, and they're telling me that the sand's gone and it's not returning where there isn't any groins and stoppage for the longshore drift. That's just one point. If you could let me have a report on the sediment transport that you're working to at the moment.
2002.
So okay. That's 2002, yeah?
Well, that's quite recent.
No, it isn't. 2002. Yeah. Another point. Will you continue to survey when you're doing the?
They've been here all day, actually, to ask about that.
You've just mentioned another couple of little things here that I think is very relevant, rather than talking about fishing pots. You say you didn't target. You don't just dredge anywhere. I think that you're targeting an area where you've known the sediment's been going to. The government policy for the last 10 years has been to stop any longshore drift by putting groins in. I'm trying to put coastal protection down the side of Holderness, and I've had steep opposition about any form of stopping, as they call it, sediment. Now, the sediment from the cliffs, clearly in the reports that I've read, is going down the near shore and going into the Humber, and then going around and going down south to the wash area. Right? You can clearly see it if you look on any satellite map, satellite imagery. You can see only the cliff and clay material going down the coast. It's on all the reports I've seen. Only sand and gravel goes out to the dredging areas. Right? On all the reports, you all fail to differentiate between sediment. You all call it sediment. You don't sort of call it sand and gravel, or just clay and a light suspended solution that goes into the Humber. I've got lots of questions, but I'm sure people have got other questions to ask you.
Things that get missed out and it doesn't give you the correct answer that you want.
Well, I disagree, to be honest. I mean, the studies that are done use some really pessimistic assumptions. You know, they'll double the amount we want to dredge. They'll find the worst possible storm in, say, 500 years. And they'll also assume that there's no sort of energy loss in the way as it goes over the dredging area towards the coast. They'll take all that very worst case from our point of view. If that's not having an impact, which the studies...
When it goes straight to the treasury, it's used by the treasury. I know these days 17 million pounds. I know these days 17 million pounds doesn't seem very much when you've been putting billions into the bank for a long time. I wanted to say one or two things about the science and also about the situation you have here. I mean, let me deal with that first. I mean, clearly the loss of your coast is a great concern to all of you, and it's a great concern to all of us. But what you are witnessing here now is, of course, a small snapshot in time. And as Andrew showed with his geological history, going back 20,000 years, before the North Sea was there, before the Channel was there, and there were just these rivers like the Channel, and this area was under a lot of ice, and then it became tundra and all of that. And then the North Sea started to form. This part of the UK was receding and receding and receding, and has been doing so for many thousands of years. And unfortunately, that process is still going on. And therefore, we society ourselves have a difficult job of living in this. We're very sympathetic, but it is a natural process that has been going on for a very long time. It's also going on clearly a bit further south around East Anglia. Again, you know, you used to be able to walk, as somebody said, you used to be able to walk across to Holland, France, and there was all the Doggerland stuff we used to the TV program. So these big changes have been going on for a very long time. And our lifetime and our experience of the current changes are, as I said earlier, just a small snapshot of time. And these processes will continue to go on. That helps us understand what is going on. And recently we've been focusing on, so I'm not saying that the problem of Holderness is necessarily a climate change issue, but clearly the sea level is still rising. The storminess may or may not be increasing, but what the Crown Estates have done some climate change work. And even if you just take
on a street tab, you can follow that wingland, and it's about 10 metres wide, and it just zigzags like that with the tide all the way out. So it just shows the tide flows. Where's the tide going to go from this street? It's going to go like that, so it goes that way, it goes out like that. It's obvious.